So, yun nga, yung argument daw na the concept of doctrine of mali captus bene detentus, no, would apply here. Na explain ko yan kanina na regardless of the illegality of the arrest, ICC can insist on its jurisdiction. That is the general rule, but there are also exceptions to it, and the exception would include prosecutor versus Dragan Nikolic, no? And this ruling states that if the accused, no, was subjected to inhumane treatment, to cruel treatment, then such would negate jurisdiction on the part of the ICC. So therefore, we can invoke the exception, and we can even require the respondents, no, the government authorities who illegally abducted President Rodrigo Duterte, to require them to make the necessary representations to the ICC and perhaps file a motion for... Everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Magandang hapon po sa kanilang lahat. Kumusta na po kayo? Ako naman, at least nakatulog na ng konti, no? What has happened in the past few days have been nightmarish. It has been sort of unbelievable, no, occurrence in our country today. But we did our best, no, to try to prevent supposedly the transportation of our beloved President Rodrigo Duterte to The Hague, Netherlands. So what is the situation now? Kailangan natin na ipaalam sa taong bayan kasi ang dami pong nagtatanong sa akin. Pasensya na rin po sa lahat ng mga news outfits na nagre-request ng interview po sa akin. Hindi po ako makabigay ng interview kasi may mga concerns na marami na i-address natin, no, together with our co-counsels in this case. And we just have to unite all our efforts in order for us to have a very good defense of our beloved President Rodrigo Duterte. Ano na ba ang sitwasyon ngayon? Una, si President Rodrigo Duterte nandun na po sa Hague, Netherlands, no? Ang last report po sa amin ay nasa ospital po siya ngayon kasi medyo hindi po maganda ang kanyang pakiramdam. Pati po si ES Medialdea ay na-rush din sandali sa ospital dahil po sa mahaba na biyahe at siguro dahil na rin sa stress. But he is okay now. He is okay. And si Vice President Inday naman ay pumunta na po sa Netherlands at meron na atang nakuhang abogado na mag-represent doon na accredited po ng International Criminal Court, no? Kailangan ka kasi accredited doon sa ICC bago ka maka-appear doon, no? Si Attorney Harry Roque is an accredited lawyer, so siya po ata ang inatasan ni Vice President Sara Duterte para magkuha po ng abogado. I am likewise in contact with Ma'am Haneleta Bansenya Duterte para po mapag-usapan kung ano po ang gagawin, no? Una, anong nangyari po sa kaso na file natin? Na denied po, akala natin na-grant yung TRO. Usual yan dahil sa excitement on the moment. May nakapagsabi sa atin na nag-grant. Pasensyahan na natin po kung na-misinform yung iba, no? May mga pangyayari kung bakit na-deny po yun, no? Kala namin na-grant pero denied pala. But according to the speaker, to the spokesperson of the Supreme Court, if my memory serves me right kagabi, it's still on the table, no? It's still on the table, the TRO. And we are now in the process of finalizing the motion for reconsideration to be filed hopefully within late this afternoon or tonight, or if pinakamatagal tomorrow po. Hinihintay lang po namin ang ruling talaga na ma-post sa Supreme Court website, kasi ang rason po ay wala daw clear and unmistakable right, no, na dapat tayo grantan ng what you call this, ng TRO. We respect the Supreme Court. It is the highest court of the land. We will do our best, no, to argue in the motion for reconsideration without violating the sub judice rule, no. We will do our best to prove to the Supreme Court na meron talagang clear and unmistakable right si Presidente Rodrigo Duterte, no, to question the continued cooperation of the Republic of the Philippines authorities vis-a-vis the warrant of arrest issued by the International Criminal Court, no. Wag nating kalimutan sa kaso kasi na ito ay petitioner din si Senator Bato de la Rosa, no. And kaya nga ang aming contention ay hindi talaga ito pa-moot and academic, kasi nga ang posibilidad na arestuhin din po si what you call this, si Senator Bato de la Rosa ay very impending likewise, no. So the petition is very much alive, and if we will look at the prayer also, no, there are matters there which would prove that hindi pa po moot yung ating kaso, because we also prayed that upon the filing of this petition, we pray for the issuance of a temporary restraining order, immediately restraining, no, any manner which would allow the respondents to cooperate with the International Criminal Court. The fact that the petitioner is now in the criminal court, the Philippine government may still be required to cooperate with the ICC, such as but not limited to what you call this, submission of evidences or any help that would be required by the prosecutors in proving the case. So that can likewise be subject of a temporary restraining order, or it is likewise included. We have 4 prayers, no, in our petition that the respondents be restrained from taking any other action that would give force and effect to the ICC proceedings despite the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute. And if already arrested, no, that the Honorable Court order that the petitioners or any other individuals in connection with the ICC's investigation be immediately released, no. Posible ba ito kung what you call this, kung nandun na siya sa ICC po, no? Sa amin pong palagay ay posible pa po, dahil alam namin yung Congo ruling, Yugoslavia ruling, alam namin yung concept na mali captus bene detentus, no? Regardless of the illegality of the arrest, in the procedure leading towards the acquisition of jurisdiction that would not harm allegedly the jurisdiction acquired by a court, no? Yan ang konsepto ng mali captus bene detentus. Yan din yung famous Adolf Eichmann case, no? In-apply din yan yung Nazi what you call this leader in the past who hid in Argentina, and dinakop siya ng mga Mossad doon sa Argentina at dinala sa Israel in order to be tried, no? And one of the issues that was raised there was the illegality of the acquisition of jurisdiction over the person of Adolf Eichmann, and even the United Nations questioned the acquisition of the jurisdiction over his person, but Israel at that time insisted on its jurisdiction, and ICC and ICTY, the International Criminal Court, and the International Criminal Court of Yugoslavia likewise followed more or less this concept. But we still believe that the exception to that rule would apply, no? And we are invoking the case of the prosecutor versus Dragan Nikolic, no? where the jurisdiction of a particular tribunal can be negated when the violation of his rights are so extreme, when there is cruel treatment insofar as his rights is concerned, when he was subjected to torture, when he was subjected to inhumane treatment. No? And that is what we are invoking. And since the Philippine authorities here violated, they say that Article 59 would no longer apply, because Philippines is no longer a state party to the Rome Statute. Indeed, ganito kasi yan, yung Pilipinas kasi hindi na state party kasi March 16 of 2018 nagpadala na tayo ng ating notice of withdrawal po sa United Nations, at saka under the Rome Statute po 1 year yung effectivity po noon, So as of March 17 of 2019 po, hindi na po tayo membro ng ICC. So as a general rule po, lahat po ng mga law students, alam po nila yan, na wala na pong jurisdiction po ang ICC dito sa ating bansa. Meron lamang niyang isang exception. At dito po kami naghihiwalay ng landas po ng aking kaibigan na si Dean Ralph Sarmiento. I hope he is watching likewise. Na kasi sabi niya doon sa kanyang mga post na wala na daw jurisdiction yung ICC kasi pwede pa rin daw maaresto si Presidente Rodrigo Duterte kasi yung Article 127 paragraph 2 would apply, kasi it was already, according to him, it was already a matter under consideration. Pero kung pag-aralan po kasi natin ng mabuti, tayo po ay umalis po sa ICC po noong noong March 16, 2018, nag-submit tayo ng notice of withdrawal sa ICC. Sino ang nagpadala nito? Si Sir Enrique Manalo po, ang ating permanent representative of the Republic of the Philippines to the United Nations. And we deposited the note verbal to Maria Luisa Riviero Viote, the Chef de Cabinet of the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. And natanggap po ito noong March 17 of 2018. Tinanggap ito ng Secretary General of the United Nations. And 1 year after that, March 17 of 2019, hindi na talaga tayo miyembro. So kung may kaso pang may jurisdiction po ang ICC, ayun pong nakasaad under Rule 127 or Article 127 paragraph 2. And this states that if a matter is already under consideration by the ICC, then ICC may still have jurisdiction on the matter. Sabi po ng mga experts katulad ni Dean Ralph Sarmiento, under consideration na daw po yun kasi po it was already looked into by the ICC. Pero kung tingnan po natin, wala pong politika ito, kaibigan ko po si Dean Ralph, kung tingnan po ninyo, on February 8, 2018, yung ICC prosecutor po announced a preliminary examination into the Philippines war on drugs, citing possible crimes against humanity. Now, sa akin pong pananaw, February 8, 2018 po ito, nag-withdraw tayo March 16 of 2018, yung action po ng ICC prosecutor cannot be considered as a matter under consideration which would operate the exception to the rule that ICC would no longer have jurisdiction in the Philippines. Bakit po? Kasi sa tingin po natin, ito pong Article 127 paragraph 2 only covers matters which are under judicial consideration po. So, kung tingnan nyo po, yung pre-trial chamber kasi ng ICC, nag-order lang ng investigation on September 15 of 2021. After na po yun noong March 17 of 2019. After more than 2 years po, nag-act po ang pre-trial chamber to order an investigation into possible crimes against humanity here in our country. So, ano pong basis ko diyan? Ang basis ko po diyan is case law din, Burundi ruling, no? Yung Burundi ruling po was decided in 2017. Doon po may issue as to whether or not ICC can still have jurisdiction even if Burundi already withdrew from the ICC. Kasi pare-pareho din po nangyari dito. They were looking into possible violations of crimes against humanity. At inalaw po ng ICC Pre-Trial Chamber 3. Isa nga dun sa mga justices ay Pilipino. If my memory serves me right, si Justice Raul Pangalanan, no? Dating dean po ng UP. And doon po kasi sa Burundi ruling, inalaw ng ICC yun kasi nga po yung Pre-Trial Chamber 3, no, nag-issue ng order of investigation 3 days before the lapse of the 1-year period of effectivity. So, may action po ang pre-trial chamber doon within the 1-year period po na maging effective yung kanilang withdrawal. So, kaya nga po, sabi ko, opinion ko po, pwede rin ako magkamali, no? Pero alam ko, hindi ako mali dito na inallow yun ng ICC kasi may pre-trial chamber action na siya within the 1-year period. Dito po kasi they had all the opportunity to go to the pre-trial chamber to request for an order of investigation. Hindi po nila yun ginawa. Okay? Hindi nila ginawa po yun at nagkaroon lamang ng pre-trial order of investigation on September 15 of 2021, no, which was already after March 17 of 2019. Kaya nga po, wala na pong jurisdiction yung ICC. And granting for the sake of argument na may jurisdiction pa, granting na, hindi natin ina-admit yan, no? Ang kamalian po nito is hindi nila na-follow yung Article 59 ng Rome Statute. Ano po yun? Kailangan kasi po na, if you will read Section 2, Section 3 thereof, na kailangan pumunta muna sa Korte of competent authority. Yung competent authority of a custodial state. Okay? Sabi naman po ng aking kaibigan, I respect his view on the matter, that Article 59, no, would not apply, na hindi na daw kailangan pumunta ka pa ng korte dito para tingnan po kung tatlong matters yun, balido, part ba siya sa warrant, nasunod ba yung proseso, yung rights ba niya ay na-respect. Kailangan yun. Kailangan dumaan ka muna sa korte ng Pilipinas para tingnan ng korte ng Pilipinas kung siya ba talaga yung mention na warrant, kung ang proseso tama ba, kung kanyang rights ba ay na-respect, no? Kasi ito po ay mandato hindi lamang sa ating batas. Kung may declaration of nullity ka nga, foreign judgment, di ba? Automatic ba yung declaration of nullity of judgment, marriage, di ba? Sa lahat ng mga hiwalay dyan. Kung may nullity of judgment ka na sa Japan, pwede ba yan ipapadiretso na may visa sa Pilipinas? Hindi po. Mag-file ka pa nga ng petition for recognition of foreign judgment. Yung ICC order po of arrest, no? Warrant of arrest is akin to foreign judgment. So it is my humble view na kailangan talaga dumaan yan. At saka kung basahin mo, dumaan yan sa korte natin muna. Oo. At saka kung basahin natin yung International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights po, Article 9, party po yun sa right ng akusado na kailangan po na dumulog muna sa korte. At local korte, para makita po kung yung kanyang karapatan ba ay nasunod, no? Na-cite nga yan ng aking kaibigan doon sa kanyang post na under Article 9 of ICCPR. I agree. I agree that he has the right, not only the Miranda rights, Kasi yung binasa kasi ni General Torre, Miranda rights under Philippine law, no? Forgetting the fact na ito po ay foreign judgment po ito. So you have to apply also to a, what you call this, you have also to apply International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, specifically Article 9. So dapat doon ma-include yung prompt information regarding the reasons for his arrest. O yun, wala yung nagawa. Ikalawa, kailangan po meron siyang prompt appearance before a judicial authority to determine the lawfulness of detention. Nakita nyo naman. Pagtatanong pa nga sa kanya ni Executive Secretary Medialde, under what authority, under what law are you arresting us? Hague law or Philippine law? Hindi nga sila makasagot. Ang sabi, Philippine law daw. Kung Philippine law yun, if you will base it on Philippine law, only a judge can issue warrants of arrest here in our country, which again is another questionable matter. And if you will base it in Article 9 of ICCPR, the accused has the right to challenge the legality of his detention, no? Dapat ma-inform din siya nun, no? Kasi hindi lang ito local matter eh. This concerns the enforcement of what is akin to a foreign judgment. So, kaya nga po medyo sipyat talaga si General Torre po dito. Tsaka yung inhumane treatment, no? Meron po tayong Anti-Torture Act, no? Kung magdakip ka kasi ng tao, kailangan mo muna siya ipapunta sa ospital, patingnan. Nag-request nga sila na kailangan dalahin si, FPRRD. Kasi nga po nag-shoot up yung kanyang BP at saka yung blood sugar niya. Oo. So, kailangan yun. Humanitarian reasons and by law, kailangan yung dalahin sa ospital na hindi sinunod, no? At saka the manner by which he was arrested, kailangan kasi yun, he must be brought to the nearest court. Hindi naman court yung Villamor Air Base eh. Hindi naman po court yung Villamor Air Base. So, definitely, meron talagang pagkakamali po dito. Tapos yung argumento nila na, yun nga, hindi daw ma-apply yung Article 59, no? Nasagot ko na po yun, ma-apply yun. Kasi, maski ba sa yung Article 59 na kailangan sa idulog muna sa competent authority of the custodial state, no? Kasi daw hindi na tayo miyembro. Pero nakalimutan ata ng ating mga kaibigan, what is the definition of a custodial state, no? If you look at ICRC DAS ICC agreement, no, section 1 thereof of 2006, it states that a custodial state is a state in which a person under a warrant of arrest issued by the ICC is detained while awaiting transfer to the seat of the ICC. So kung sino yung may kustodiya po ng arestadong tao, kung saan siya po ang makonsider na custodial state, because the custodial state is the state or the country that has actual and physical custody over an arrested person pursuant to an ICC warrant, regardless of whether or not it is a state party to the Rome Statute. So klaro po na custodial state ang Pilipinas po dito. So kung custodial state, whether or not it is a party to the ICC, it must follow the provisions of Article 59, and President Rodrigo Duterte should have been brought to the competent authority within our republic. So, hindi po ginawa yun. He was arrested in a blitzkrieg fashion, without respect of his human rights, no? And in a manner which is violative not only of the Bill of Rights but also under ICCPR, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. So what can we do now? Ang gagawin natin, mag-file tayo ng MR. We will try to convince the Supreme Court, no, na meron pa ring mga matters in our prayer which are not moot and academic, and that he has, he has right in esse. Kasi yan yung clear and unmistakable right eh. He has right in esse. Bakit meron siyang right in esse? Siya yung dinakip eh. And besides, nandyan din si Senator Bato. No? May impending warrant din siya. So, Senator Bato can likewise question it, no? And seek for a temporary restraining order so that pursuant to granting for the sake of argument na moot nga ito, which I am not admitting, you apply the case of David versus Arroyo, no? This is capable of repetition eh. And this is of transcendental importance, so therefore the Supreme Court, with due respect, no, has the power and authority to rule on this. And with a prayer for a mandatory injunction to require the respondents, since they violated the rights of President Rodrigo Duterte, to file appropriate motions in the ICC, no, to have him returned back here in our country, such as maybe motion for a, kasi doon may initial notice of appearance yan, and then confirmation of charges, no? They can file the appropriate motion. Uy, nagkamali kami. Hindi namin na-follow yung Article 59, Section 2, Section 3, Section 4 thereof. And they can invoke prosecutor versus Dragan Nikolic, that there may have been grave violation of his human rights. He was subjected to inhumane treatment, and that therefore this defeats, no, negates jurisdiction. So that can be argued by the Philippine authorities there, and the Supreme Court, I believe, has the power to command them to to order them, because they committed grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction under Article 8, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution. Yan nga ang nakakaganda ng ating Constitution po, no? Under our 1987 Constitution, we call that the expanded concept of certiorari jurisdiction, no? Where the court can settle not only actual controversies, but the Supreme Court can look into the acts of other branches or instrumentalities of government, whether or not they have acted with grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction. That is the expanded concept of certiorari, which is different from a Rule 65 certiorari. So we filed it pursuant to a the expanded concept of certiorari. Okay? So yun nga, yung argument daw na the concept of doctrine of Mali Captus Bene Detentus, no, would apply here. Na explain ko yan kanina na regardless of the illegality of the arrest, ICC can insist on its jurisdiction. That is the general rule, but there are also exceptions to it, and the exception would include prosecutor versus Dragan Nikolic, no? And this ruling states that if the accused, no, was subjected to inhumane treatment, to cruel treatment, then such would negate jurisdiction on the part of the ICC. So therefore, we can invoke the exception, and we can even require the respondents, no, the government authorities who illegally abducted President Rodrigo Duterte, to require them to make the necessary representations to the ICC, and perhaps file a motion for provisional release or cite prosecutor versus Dragan Nikolic, so that President Rodrigo Duterte, former President Rodrigo Duterte, can be ordered to go home to the country. Yan po ang ating pananaw dyan, no? So, sa issue na wala na daw, may jurisdiction pa ang ICC, valid pa yung warrant, na-answer ko na yan. Di po valid yun, kasi yung Article 127 Paragraph 2 of the Rome Statute implies, no, matter under consideration implies that the matter should have been under judicial consideration. A mere preliminary examination on the part of the office of the prosecutor would not lie. Okay? It would not lie. What is my basis? The Burundi ruling of Appeals Chamber of the ICC 2017. Okay? So yung doctrine naman ng Malicaptus Benedictentus would not also apply because we can cite the prosecutor versus Dragan Nikolic, which is an exception to that rule, and therefore it negates jurisdiction on the part of the ICC. May tumatawag na po sa akin. I have to answer this. Marami pong salamat sa inyo. Kung may mga tanong pa po kayo, please text me, no? You PM me para masagot ko sa inyo. Dahan-dahan po, and we are doing our best in defense of President Rodrigo Duterte. Nagpa-aabot din po ng pagbati sa inyo si Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy at lahat po ng kandidato ng PDP, at sana po suportahan natin silang lahat. Kailangan natin ang ating bansa ngayon na magdepensa kay pinakamamahal nating Vice President Sara Duterte, if in case po yung certiorari petition ko po ay hindi po maging magtagumpay. Pero sana iduan ninyo kami kay Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala at i-pray po ninyo kami kay para may pag-asa pa ang ating bayan, at para po ito lang po ang ating bayan, mahalin po natin ang ating bayan. We should fight for our rights and we should unite, no? We should unite, and we should still pray continually for the release of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Duterte po tayo. Lahat po ng senador, suportahan natin si Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy. Maraming salamat po.